3 minutes, Frankenstein and Destiny. Let's go. Welcome back to RVW Movies, home of the 3-minute movie media. I'm Reece T, and Destiny is everywhere in this film. It starts early, or rather starts late. Dr. Victor Frankenstein and his creation locked in a death chase across the Arctic Circle. Death is the ultimate destiny in Frankenstein. Not just the end of a story, but in ambition and creation, its genesis as well. It begins when Victor's mother dies, a young man left alone without his closest companion. A lifelong obsession to overcome life's finality follows, one forever futile as Claire Frankenstein remains out of reach of her son's abilities. There's obviously an Oedipal undertone raging through the Doctor of the Undead, made obvious here in the dual casting of Mia Goth as Claire and Elizabeth, the young woman with whom Victor becomes infatuated. She is betrothed to his brother William, as the gothic heart of romance, beating life into this story, leaves that love unrequited. That leads to Victor's ill treatment of his life's work. When Elizabeth meets the creature, his maker is already frustrated with his slow progress. That she, the symbol of all that he has lost, shares an immediate and intimate connection to his unfulfilled mania, is what dooms the Frankensteins forever. This is a grand circle of fate. Death the root cause of obsession, and obsession the bringer of death. Yet destiny doesn't just apply to fictional characters, but sometimes to the artists given them life. Guillermo del Toro is now the ultimate in the unfamiliar, the grand master of the eerie, monstrous and lonely. And I say all this despite not being his biggest fan. Now, I've always appreciated his work, but it largely exists in steampunk and horror, two aesthetics really my first choice upon the grand cinematic buffet. But this film exists in the same year as a Nosferatu remake I loved, Destiny again at work to better prepare and excite me for another grand gothic reimagining. The past GDT work Frankenstein mostly closely resembles is Crimson Peak. For one, both feature an eternally gorgeous star among my personal favourites, but more importantly, the central character in each is a troubled heir to an old fortune, visited by a visceral vision of Scarlet, lost enough to retreat to a crumbling tower of fallen glory, never realising nor escaping their personal ambition. Is it possible Del Toro made that as a placebo for this, thinking he'd never get the chance at his dream project? If so, he now reflects Victor in finding the help of an alien wealth. Netflix make questionable art and business choices, but this is not their first original to give one of the greats a chance to make one of their best. Del Toro uses their resources to turn the most gorgeous costume, production and cinematography imaginable into something truly monstrous, the polar opposite of Victor, who takes the unholy and somehow turns it miraculous. Does Del Toro see himself as Victor, or instead as his creation? Will Jacob Elordi's rendition of the monster, as tender as it is unrecognisable? Either could be true, but it gives the feeling that his career was always leading to this moment. This is a rich interpretation of an eternal literary tale, and one which can be a little formal at times. Your desire to find meaning within this director's unique tapestry is the single thing to fate your own response to what I consider a 4.5-star movie.